everyone, welcome. My name is Camilla Liscio. I'm Principal Scientist here at Anatune. For those of you who don't know, we are now part of a larger group. We're now part of the Element Group. So because some change is coming down the line, we thought this would be the perfect opportunity for us to talk to you about the change which is coming and the new opportunities which lay ahead for all of us. The event will be split over 2 days. On day one, we would have sessions in the morning, lunch break, sessions in the afternoon, followed by an evening event with a bit of a discussion about the future of Anatune. While on the second day, we start in the morning with a lab tour for those of you who have managed to register, where you will have the opportunity to see all the automation in action coupled to GCMSs and OCMSs, to speak to all of us of the application team and ask questions. Then we start with a session in the morning, followed by lunch break and a session in the afternoon, which will lead to the end of the event. The session in the afternoon will also include participation of some of our service team, the engineers, and you will have the opportunity to ask some technical question in the Ask Your Engineer session.
My name is Jonathan Dunsco, been at Antin for 5 years, and I do all the environmental testing at Antin. My talk is all going to be about how automation is applied to complex matrix types to analyze for varying environmental contaminants. Things like soils or different types of clays or things like marine biota, those types of materials. Usually when we are testing for these different types of matrices, it can be very long-winded. It's not very technical, but there's lots of steps involved. They can be very manually intense. So for one person carrying those out, you can make a lot of errors, you can get tired, sometimes the data is not very good. So the automation here, rather than help speeding things up, brings consistency to the techniques and to the data. I think events like these are really important for people because nobody solves a problem on their own. So when you get lots of people in a room, they chat. You know, if I'm in the water testing lab, I wouldn't necessarily be looking at techniques used to test for whiskey, for example, but there's a lot of crossover. I think as scientists in the past, we've never been environmentally focused. GC is not very environmentally friendly, or LC as a technique because it uses quite a lot of solvent. So we need to think about how we're going to use our resources more, you know, how much solvent we're going to use in the laboratories, how green is our prep, about changing mindset for us to be able to fix that problem and become more environmentally aware as scientists.
I am Colin Hasty, an applications chemist at Anatune now for 3.5 years. So my talk in the Future Focus event is on analysis of PFAS. PFAS has been branded a forever chemical. It's a material that doesn't break down much and are quite hydrophobic, so they tend to bioaccumulate. The standard methods for the analysis in water anyway is either just a direct analysis on LCMSMS using a pretty high spec system, or alternatively a manual solid phase extraction, enrichment step, and then injection again on the LCMSMS. The automated method removes a lot of the contact and means that the detections we can achieve are better. It also means that we get a clean up. So for particularly dirty samples that you don't really want to directly inject onto your HPLC because it's basically just going to kill your column over time.
I'm going to be part of 2 sessions at the Future Focus event. The first part is about the collaboration, so I'll be sharing the session with Colin Hasty, one of my colleagues, and we're going to highlight some of the key parts of collaboration which have been working in the lab as R&D projects. And the second session I'm going to be part of is actually a passion of mine. I'll be presenting at the data analytics session and focusing on some of the key tools that you can use as an analytical chemist out of the data analytics toolbox to help you addressing very challenges project. I think data analytics is not just important, it is essential to the analytical community. And the reason is because for some reason the analytical community has overlooked data analytics because it involves a very strong statistical knowledge and people tend to be scared out of it. So obviously that requires some sort of activation energy to go beyond that. But I'm actually very pleased to realize that more and more the community feels the need to use data analytics because the analytical challenges are becoming so complex that an analytical chemist on his own cannot make it. So we need the additional oomph to get to the answers. If there was more knowledge, statistical know-how available, I think people would be more encouraged to try things and to try to address more complex questions, which is sort of what is happening now, because a lot of software companies, we've been collaborating with SAS and Jump, for example. Some of these companies really see this gap for the community and they're trying to bridge it, implementing software and platforms which are very user-friendly, therefore they kind of support and hold the hands of the scientists, of the analytical chemists, using this data analytics tools. And therefore the community feels more confident using them, and therefore they ask more in-depth questions and they can produce better quality results.
Hello, my name's Mark Perkins. I'm a Senior Applications Chemist. I've been working with Anatune for 7 years now, predominantly on SIFT-MS. At the Anatune Future Focus event, I will be presenting volatile analysis using SIFT-MS. Basically looking at how we can use SIFT-MS to do rapid volatile analysis in all sorts of different environmental matrices and other applications also. So we're talking about soil analysis, water analysis, analysis of recycled polymers, maybe looking at some analysis within the pharmaceutical sector. So generally a broad overview of how SIFT-MS and our automation of SIFT-MS enable us to develop some really rapid, high throughput methods that will really help you with your analysis, help you with your throughputs. Increased use of data means enlarged data sets, which means we can actually throw some statistics at the analysis now and pull apart some small changes, maybe some targeted analysis. So it is a broad overview of how we can use SIFT-MS and automated SIFT-MS to really enhance your analytical workflows, give you some very good information rapidly. The future focus is not just about future focus on analytical techniques in themselves, or analytical chemistry in itself. It's also how we as scientists can actually, improve our environmental footprint. And so techniques such as SIFT-MS, which are rapid and require very small amounts of solvent, largely we're working in the aqueous space actually, offers some real chances to become greener. We can't be above that conversation, we've got to be part of that conversation. Sometimes maybe we've got to lead that conversation. So I think it's really important to look at it in a sort of holistic way.
Hi, I'm Scott Dunham and I'm the new sales manager at Element Cambridge. I absolutely love attending these kind of events. It's great to see people, to network, to have a good catch up and a good gossip. It's the first event I'm attending in a very long time since the world shut down. They used to be a lot more commonplace. So yeah, really looking forward to sitting down with the people I know and finding the latest and greatest. I'm also going to use my time at the event to explain the rebrand from Anatune to Element Cambridge. Yeah, I think these events are great because they really allow for a chance to collaborate, maybe the cross-pollination of ideas to really get to really get knowledge in a room and to sort of see what comes from that.
My name's Cathy Ridgway. I've worked at Anatune for just over 8 years now. My job title is a Senior Applications Chemist. So at the Future Focus event, I'm going to be talking about one of the R&D projects that we've been doing, which is automated vacuum solid phase microextraction. By applying vacuum, you can avoid heating, so you can get better results at lower temperatures. So for some food products where heating might be an issue because you're forming chemicals, by applying a vacuum you can get the same results but at a much lower temperature. For the food industry, this could provide an advantage in terms of looking at profiles at much lower temperatures without formation of Maillard reaction products, etc. But also to get a less biased profile. So one of the issues potentially with atmospheric SPME is that you get a bias to the higher volatiles, whereas by applying a vacuum you don't get that bias so much. So it gives an overall better profile of the food product. So Anatune has a history of doing in-person events, and they always go down very well. We always find people like to talk to other people in the industry, share ideas. So this project came about by us picking up at a conference in the literature some work that had been done by a group at the University of Crete, using vacuum to increase the efficiency of solid phase microextraction So we sat down together, had a good discussion with them, and managed to set up automation using the current available Gerstal hardware. It's really good that post-COVID we can get back together again to seeing people, and for us to get a real feel from our customers as to what they would like us to do in terms of the automation and the projects going forward. So it'd be great if you could join us in Cambridge on the 29th and 30th of September for our Future Focus event. Hope to see you there.